Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be creating our first C program. Before we get started, we need to make sure that we have correctly installed our compiler. As I said in the previous video, we're going to be using the GCC compiler. So to check if we have correctly installed the GCC compiler, we can run the following command, which is gcc space -- version, which is going to give us the version of GCC we have installed. As you can see, I have 13.1.6. The next thing we need to talk about is the editor we'll be using. As I said in the previous video, we're going to be using Vim, which is a built-in text editor. To access Vim, we're going to use the following command, vi space the name of our file, which we're going to be naming main.c. After we press enter, we're going to come to this new window. As you can see, if we try to type now, nothing is going to happen. That is because we are not in insert mode. To get into insert mode, we're going to press I on our keyboard. As you can see on the bottom left corner, it says insert, so now we can type. The first thing we're going to type is a header, what we call a header file, which you do not need to know what it is right now, but we will look into it in later videos. So we're going to say hashtag include standard io.h. This is a library. A library is like a place where predefined functions other people wrote are stored so we can use them. In this video, we're going to be using the printf function to print hello world to the screen. The next thing we need to do is, this is a convention, this is not mandatory, but we can add comments to tell what our function is going to do. So our function is going to be called main, and it's going to print hello world. The next thing we need to do is write the return type and see if process completes successfully. It's going to return 0. Else just going to return 1. So now we can start writing our function. The first thing we're going to write is the return type of our function. Usually main functions are going to return an int that is going to be a number like 0, which is going to indicate that the process completed successfully. The name of our function is going to be main, and in parentheses we're going to have void. This means that the main function is currently not going to take any parameters. We're going to get into what parameters are in later videos. Then we're going to press enter and open our curly brace. Inside here is where we're going to write our code. So as we said, we're going to be using the printf function, which is printf. Then in parentheses and in quotation, we're going to write hello world. Close the quotation mark and close the parentheses. And every line in C, almost every line, we'll look into it later, is going to end with semicolons. Then after that, we're going to return 0 to indicate that our program completed successfully. Then we're going to close the curly braces. Now we're done and we've wrote our first C program. Now we're going to try running it with the compiler we installed. To get out of insert mode and to save our file, we're going to first press escape, which is going to take us out of insert mode. Now we're going to press :X, which is going to save our file and exit out of the editor. Now if we check our directory with the command ls, we're going to see that we have our main.c file. Now we're going to pass main.c to our compiler, which is gcc space main.c. As you can see, nothing happened. That's good. That means we did not get any errors. But if we run ls again, we can see that we have a new file, which is a.out, which we did not create, but the compiler did. So to run a.out, we're going to use the command /a.out and press enter. As you can see, we have printed hello world, but as you can see, the % is next to hello world. This is because we did not insert a new line character. We can go back to our code and do that. We're going to go back with the vi command main.c. Then we're going to enter into insert mode by pressing I. Then we're going to go to printf hello world, and special escape character for entering a new line is going to be a \n at the end of our sentence. Then we can go back and check and press escape, :x to save our file. Then now if we run the command /a.out, as you can see, nothing has changed. This is because we need to compile the file again so that changes can take place. So we're going to run gcc space main.c to compile it again. Again, we get no errors, which is good. Then to run, we're going to use /a.out. As you can see, the % is not there anymore. That's because we used the new line character and we've printed hello world to the terminal. Thanks for watching. This is our first video on creating our first C program. We're going to have videos following this about variables, parameters, libraries, and more. So don't forget to subscribe and like the video.